Hey guys, so it's been a while. I wanted to give an update on the truck, what I'm doing now. So I've been doing a lot of reading on the HP Tuners forum, and there is another sensor you can mount post throttle body, but before the vanes for the blower. It'll give you a supercharger inlet pressure. So what I've done is I made me a custom mount that bolts on to the tab with that supercharger, and then I have my stock 1-bar map sensor that was replaced with the red label 3-bar for the manifold, because this here chamber should really never see any kind of boost. It should still be in vacuum most likely at all time. So to get my vacuum signal, I've teed off where the bypass is and then ran this hose down, and then it will go right to the back side of where that map sensor reads. So what I'm in the process of doing now is I got to depin X1 and X2 and then add in, take some wires out of this, add some more wires into this for that map sensor, and then take the wires that I take out of this and put it to X2 on the other plug. So looking at what we got going on here, this is the LT4 schematic. This is basically what I have to move from this pin to this plug to this plug, and then wire in my new harness for that map sensor that is already pre-pinned for the plug. And that comes from PMC of NC, I believe. Those are the people that made that harness. Yeah, there they are. So basically I will have this supercharger inlet air pressure, change my settings to that, and then I should have a little more consistent throttle going forward with the truck. Right now it wants to, if you get about 60% throttle, 40 to 60% throttle, it'll kind of want to open the blade wide open. And a lot of it has to do with that sensor not being in there because it's not a factory blown truck. Anyway, this here should do what I need to get this thing smoother. So once I get this pinned out, I will come back with an update. Okay, so we're under the truck here. I just got the new supercharger inlet pressure sensor pinned in. So I had to take out pins 4 and 5 and 20. Had one of these little blue pins that was in there. So now 5, 20, and 4 are repinned in to this new harness. To do this, you gotta basically take a small little paper clip and get it in these little bitty holes. You can see where that one's kind of walled out just a little bit there where I was pushing through it. After you pry this blue piece up a little bit, and then it'll release those pins. So I got the new harness pinned in. Now I just got to get to X2 and repin in these 2 wires to that other plug, and then get my wiring all cleaned up, and we'll be good to go. All right, so we got the wiring done now. Excuse that wiring, I forgot to run my tape back, so I'm gonna take that plug back and retape that all the way in. But we have our new sensor pinned into this wiring harness, running out right there. And that was the biggest pain, is really just retaping this wiring harness. I did have to add in a splice to make the yellow and the white with red wire longer that went to X2, because it wasn't quite long enough. So had to splice in a little bit of wire for that to keep the factory pin on that. And then I ran my wire up through here. And then now the new SCIAP sensor is installed. I just fired the truck up after loading the tune that recognizes that. I turned on my DCTs for that, and you can see here we actually have inlet air pressure, and it's matching the manifold absolute pressure. And then I gave it a little throttle spike right there, and you can see it jumped around a little bit, back down to 26. So it's reading right with the manifold, because I still didn't hit boost, so I'll have to take it out on the street to put it in boost and hopefully see a difference in between those two sensors. But after HP Tuners added these two tables in here for that, the inlet pressure on your Supercharger tab, this linear and offset, and then they actually already had those pre-filled with the stock GM 1-bar map. And then I had to change this here, sensor config. It was on NA map, and now it's Supercharger SCIAP TAP. And then that tells the ECM, hey, there's this other sensor here now to utilize. So I'll go take some logs here in a little bit and actually see how that works out and how it's going to change my throttle. Hopefully it makes it a little more linear. I know there's guys say that there's a couple other tables you need in the background to be able to get this thing to work 100% like it should. But we're going to try it the way it is now, and then if I have to, I'll get those other background tables and tune from there. So anyway, we're all done. Get it buttoned up, we'll go for a ride. All right guys, so we're back. First run after the new Supercharger inlet air pressure sensor install, and you can see my throttle. The accelerator pedal is in the brown, the blade is at white. So you can see it actually matches much more consistently with my accelerator pedal movements now. So I thought that was pretty good. I can probably tune out the rest of this with driver demand or get those other background tables that I need to really make it linear. But if we look down here at our Supercharger inlet air pressure, you can see when I go into boost, say right here, we are reading 98 kPa, and the barometric pressure is 104 kPa. So that's reading right at baro, a little bit of vacuum, but your manifold where it's making boost is 145 kPa. So it's clearly working as it should. So I'm really happy right now. Until next time, we'll see you.